Hey guys, it's Louie here, and in this video I'll share with you how to climb out of each rank in CS2, starting from the lowest premier rank and all the way to Faceit Level 10. Now you may be asking yourself, why should you listen to me? I've been every rank in Counter-Strike and made it all the way to becoming an international player for Team USA. In my 14,000 hours, I've been able to identify the weaknesses of players and why they get hard stuck in every rank they don't think they deserve. But before I tell you guys the weaknesses, you guys need to check out the sponsor of this video, SkinsMonkey.
SkinsMonkey is a CS2 skins trading site and marketplace that provides an instant way to get new skins. My favorite thing about SkinsMonkey is that I can trade skins that I no longer want and trade it for a skin that is equal value. If you use code LouisCS2, you get a $5 bonus on your first trade. If you want to buy skins, you can get a 30% deposit bonus plus an extra 5% using my code. The link is down in the description.
So let's break this down, starting with someone who may be stuck in the premier elo of around 5k to 10k. If you're around this elo, it probably means you're just a casual player, or maybe you're new to CS2, but this is just the beginning to an amazing journey. The first thing you need to know at this elo is the basic mechanics of the game. Counter-Strike is like basketball when it comes to fundamentals. When you think about basketball fundamentals, you're thinking of basic ball handling and getting down into a good defensive stance. But in Counter-Strike, when we talk about fundamentals, we're talking about the basics of understanding how to play. The basics that you should be focusing on are movement and spray patterns. Playing at the lower ranks means you can easily carry your games if you master these basic fundamentals, because everyone you play against has no idea how to master these. There's a few ways to practice movement, but the best is literally just strafing back and forth and shooting bots. If you don't know how to counter strafe, then watch my video on how to counter strafe in CS2. Moving on to spray patterns, there's a cool workshop map that you can use that has most of the guns and their spray patterns where you can practice this basic mechanic of the game. Learning the spray patterns of basic guns will help you get kills faster because you're not guessing where your bullets are going. If you aren't familiar with workshop maps, then you can go to a server and just spray at a wall and try to counter the spray that way. I think this is a very noob friendly way, and it's just easier for you to see how spray patterns work. Now, once you're at a 10k elo and around the 15k elo mark, I suggest that you start playing Faceit. If you don't know what Faceit is a platform that has an anti-cheat so you don't have to worry about playing against cheaters. I've noticed that around the 15k elo mark, there's a lot of cheaters, so it's best to play on Faceit and the matches are much more competitive. So 15k to 20k elo is what the majority of the CS2 players are, but what can you do to stand out from most of the player base? You need to be able to recognize basic patterns of the game. Let's say, for example, someone is running underpass on Mirage every round. If you can recognize this pattern, you can get a free kill. By recognizing this pattern, you can literally just smoke off connector to give yourself enough space to get out mid, and you can just swing underpass for a free kill. To get better on how to counter a certain pattern, execute, or play, you can watch how pros play certain situations. If you're having trouble playing window on Mirage, you should download a demo of your favorite team and learn how their window player plays and take notes on what he does in different situations. If you don't know how to get a demo from a pro team, let me show you. So in order to download a pro demo, you want to go to the website hltv.org and you want to go to the results tab. This will give you all of the results of all the pro matches, and you can select from almost any of them. It shows you from what tournament and if they were a best of 3, and it even has a star to show you what tier of the match it was. In order to search for your favorite team, you want to click the team tab and then search your favorite team. If I search FaZe comes up. I want to click FaZe. But the one problem is it doesn't show the maps if it's a best of 3. Now, if it is a best of 1, it will give the abbreviations of the map. If you want to find the map that you want, you simply click the map tab and we can go, let's say for Mirage. We click on Mirage and it shows all the matches FaZe played that were on Mirage. So when I click on this, to download the demo, I want to click on this here that says demo sponsored by Bitskins and simply just left click. So once you have your demo downloaded, you want to open up in WinRAR or your zip folder, whatever it is, and then you want to right click Counter-Strike. We want to go to Properties, Installed Files, and Browse. Once we have this up, we want to go to the Game folder, CSGO folder, and this is where you're going to drag the demo. As you can see, I already have one in here. You want to find the one that says Mirage and simply just drag it. Now, once we're in game, we want to hit our console bind and simply just type play demo space, and then all the demos will be in here, and you just want to click on whichever one you want, click enter, and then you can go into the demo. There is a couple demo binds that you guys can use to watch these. Honestly, I just click the demo UI to be able to skip through them. I think that's the easiest. But once you guys do this, enjoy watching those demos. When you start watching demos, I suggest you have a notebook and take notes of their plays and reactions and then apply them to your own games. Once you start doing this, you'll notice you'll always be a step ahead of your opponents, and you may even be able to direct your teammates to help them in situations that could lead to an easy game. Once you continue to learn the basics of the game and get to around 25k elo or Faceit level 5 through 8, you'll understand that it's now a basic process of just refining the basic fundamentals of the game. But some of you may hit a wall around this rank, and a lot of people fluctuate around these ranks, so how can you change the way you play the game? Well, let's start by identifying the type of players usually at this rank. The first kind of player is someone who is overly reliant on their aim and they have zero game sense. The second type of player is someone who is overly reliant on their utility because they watch too much Nard out here and have no idea on how to actually use the utility that they've learned. Lastly, you have the type of player that is both of these in between. These players are well-rounded but don't have a strong suit and sometimes can lose you a game, or if you're playing against them, they'll probably drop 30 kills, and you know what I'm talking about because we've all been there. Now, if you're asking why I brought up these types of players, it's because you're one of these and you need to be able to identify which one you are. If you can't criticize yourself, then you won't be able to improve. There's a big problem in Counter-Strike where everyone has an ego for absolutely no reason, and they think they're this perfect player and they only lose because of their teammates. The players with these egos will never improve, and they'll probably stay at this rank for their whole career because they can't find their own weaknesses. If you can find your own weaknesses, you'll be able to be ahead of these players. But talking about egos gets me into my next topic. Since you have the basic mechanics down, you need to work on something that isn't even in Counter-Strike. What am I talking about? I'm talking about your attitude. In order to play Counter-Strike at a high level, you need to be able to have a positive mindset and not be toxic. Yes, you're allowed to get upset, and yes, you can be mad, but that shouldn't lead you to rage at your teammates. You need to be able to move on. My best advice for you if you have this problem is to think about each round as a chapter in a book. Once a chapter is over, you turn the page and read another page. So once a round is over, you need to start to focus on the current round instead of the last. Forget all the mistakes and move on. Once you've hit 30k elo or Faceit level 9 and 10, then congratulations, you're the top 1% of the player base. Many players are satisfied with stopping their climb here, but the last tip I have is for the players that want to reach the top and try to reach a professional level. In order to keep improving, you need to keep fine-tuning the mistakes you're making by VOD reviewing yourself. You can do this by streaming your games on Twitch, which a lot of people will watch since you're the top 1% of the player base, or you can simply just record yourself through OBS and having a VOD folder on your desktop. I highly recommend this while practicing with a team because you usually don't have access to a demo and a scrim. To fine-tune yourself even more, you should be grinding aimbots or deathmatch to improve your crosshair placement and time to kill, and focusing on the fundamentals. Getting to this point in Counter-Strike really becomes a grind, and a lot of players don't want to do the dirty work, such as watching demos, deathmatching, and working on the very basic mechanics. So if you have the work ethic, you can definitely reach the top because hard work always beats talent. But just remember to enjoy the journey of the grind, and you'll always find a lot more enjoyment in trying to reach the top.